Nice. We've got a good variety, mostly from it seems like the center of the states. I know the East Coast is having a big storm right now. Saw on the news 28 inches on Long Island. So hopefully everyone's staying warm up there. All right, so tonight we have a fantastic webinar planned, and it's on Shadow Health, which is a program that you're going to use in two of the courses, one for the BSN and one for the MSN program. So we've got Ashley and Sarah, who are student success advisors with us, and we have a special treat because we have Brooke and Kelly here, and they are with Shadow Health. So they are experts, they know the program, and they'll be able to answer all of your questions and show us a walkthrough of the system. So hopefully when you're in this course or if you're already in it, it makes you feel a little bit more comfortable about all the intricacies of the program. So I'll turn it over to Ashley and Sarah.
Hello, everyone. First, let's just give a really quick overview. What is Shadow Health? And Shadow Health is a digital clinical experience, which you may be familiar with all the practice experience hours in all of your classes. Well, for these two classes, your practice experience hours will be in the computer simulation called Shadow Health. And it allows students to practice and demonstrate advanced physical assessment for 522 or health assessment for 437. It's just a way for a safe way to really experience and try out different ways of assessing a patient.
So how do I access Shadow Health? When you're in those courses, either N522 or BSN 437, at the top of the page in your course, there will be a picture that kind of looks like this. So under practice experiences, there will be a little puzzle piece that says Shadow Health Login. When you click on that, it will take you into the Shadow Health area, and it will prompt you to set up an account. Shadow Health does have a one-time fee of $89 for purchase. This is important to know. It's kind of the way I like to think of it is kind of like a book fee. So it is included in the book list and things like that as well, so that hopefully people are prepared for that fee. But if not, just so you know, it's kind of nice to know that going in.
So getting started with Shadow Health. So once you create your login, and Brooke and Kelly are going to go into this a little bit more in depth, but when you get into Shadow Health, you'll participate in a variety of what they call assignments. And on average, you will spend about 10 to 15 hours completing assignments in Shadow Health. So you'll be evaluating a digital patient, Tina and a few others, Danny and Esther. And so you'll be basically evaluating this patient. You'll be asking the patient questions and concerns and providing information. It's important to know for your practice experience hours that the time you spend interacting with the digital patient does not include post-exam activities. So in your class, you'll notice that each section, you'll focus on a different area of assessment. And so each section will have kind of a time frame. And that's just for when you go in to kind of how long you're going to spend in Shadow Health. And it does not include the evaluation afterwards. And I also wanted to mention that if you ever have difficulties within Shadow Health, there's a really wonderful Shadow Health is wonderful in answering any questions or concerns that they have. So just in the top right-hand corner, when you're in the Shadow Health website, you'll see my resources in the help desk. So if you ever have difficulties, they have lots of different resources.
So BSN 437 PE is the health assessment course. It's the undergraduate course that primarily uses Shadow Health. So in that course, I pretty much just kind of developed the course description. So this course will provide the student with integrated functional health assessment knowledge and practical applications of physical assessment skills. The integrated health assessment includes physical, social, cultural, psychological, and spiritual components across the lifespan. Emphasis will be placed on developing and using therapeutic communication skills. So in order to kind of complete this description and a bunch of these objectives, we use Shadow Health because it's a good way to give you that clinical experience without actually having to get you into hospitals or clinics and actually working with patients, because as an online university, that is a tough thing for us to facilitate. We can facilitate different types of practicums and stuff, but we like to make it as easy as possible for students. So this is something you can do from the comfort of your couch in your jammies. You can still interact with this digital patient. You can ask her questions. She'll give you answers. She'll tell you kind of what symptoms she's having. You can interact. They'll have different patients have different cultural backgrounds, and so there are a lot of things that this program encompasses, which is the primary reason why we use it and why it's good for meeting the goals of this course.
In Advanced Physical Assessment N522 PE, you're basically going to build on the undergraduate nursing knowledge of anatomy and physiology, pathophysiology, and health assessment skills. And it's basically, you're going to be encompassing and learning about the comprehensive assessment of clients across a lifespan, just like you did in BSN 437 PE. This course includes 45 hours of practice experience activities, which you'll be doing within Shadow Health. So like Ashley was mentioning for the undergraduate portion, the graduate portion of the Shadow Health is more immersive. It talks about disease prevention and restoration, and it's a way to practice and develop these skills in a safe environment. And so you don't have to worry about hurting anyone, and you can try out a lot of different things. So we're going to be turning this over to Brooke and Kelly, and they're going to do a walkthrough of Shadow Health. If you have any questions or concerns, we have some time set aside at the end so you can ask any of us questions. But they'll be able to kind of walk you through what to expect with Shadow Health.
Perfect. And just let me know. Oh, did it work?
Yeah.
Okay, awesome. Excellent. Yay. Sorry about that, guys. Okay, so if you can hear me and see my screen, then I'm just going to dive in and show you a little bit about how the program works. So, and I'm just going to go ahead and see if I can expand my chat so I can make sure and see if anyone has any questions or anything as we go through. I'll try and keep an eye on that. But I'll make sure and save some time at the end as well. So if there's any questions, hopefully Brooke and I will be able to answer them for you all. So just a tiny bit about Shadow Health. We're based in Gainesville, Florida, and we're just a really exciting little company developing a lot of amazing software. So we have this health assessment program that we've developed for both that RN to BSN and the grad levels. So I'm just going to show you a little bit of each today, since I know we have both groups included. So hopefully it won't be too confusing, but I just want to kind of hit on a little bit of the differences between the two, so you all.
Okay, so we've got our visual back, and we're getting Kelly's mic connected, and we should be good to go again.
Okay, guys, can you hear me again?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm so sorry about that. I have no idea what happened with my connection, but it just froze up. So let's just see if I can work through this a slightly different way with less screens open, and maybe that'll be helpful. So you can see my screen and hear me both. Is that right? We're all good? Okay, awesome. Okay, so sorry about that, but let's just move ahead and see if I can show you a little bit about how the patients work. I'm just going to real quickly show you just a quick overview of the assignments. So again, there's going to be some differences between the RN to BSN versus the grad program, but just know that they are also, you're going to have the same basic flow of how you work through the program, so everything I'm talking about should apply to all of you. So on my screen now, it says Digital Clinical Experience Assignments, and just let me know that you can see that. Now I'm paranoid. So, awesome. Okay, good. So here are our patients that you're going to be meeting very soon. We have Tina, who is 28 years old. You're going to do a lot of your interaction with Tina. You're going to do a whole health history and then system by system assignments as well. So you're really going to do a deep dive into getting to know Tina and what's going on with her. Tina has many, many abnormalities, so you'll get a lot of really robust practice. We also have 3 other patients as well. So we have Danny, who's our pediatric patient, who's 8 years old. We have Esther, who is our geriatric patient, who is 78 years old. And then we have Brian, who is our 58-year-old male. We also have concept labs. Both programs have the cardio, respiratory, and abdominal concept labs. In addition, the RN BSN version will also have what we call a conversation concept lab, where you get some practice with, how do you do a good health history? So, just really reviewing some really great, robust skills there. And I'm using that word robust a lot. But anyway, okay. So we're going to go ahead into the exam room with Tina so I can show you how we talk to her. Okay? So we're entering the room. I'm actually in that RN to BSN version. So this is a hospital setting versus a clinic, but the grad program is in a clinic. So you'll see that nuance there. If you can see my screen, you'll see that we have Tina laying on the bed in front of us. And I'm going to go ahead and type to greet her. So I'm typing at the very bottom, and I'm going to go ahead and say, "Hi, Tina. I'm your nurse, Kelly." Hey. And could you all hear her say hey? Make sure What was that?
I was surprised that she responded.
Yeah. So we type to her, and that's for a few reasons. Uh-oh, I just saw a no audio. Does everyone else still have audio for me?
We can still hear you over here.
Okay, I'm just going to be paranoid. So we type to her, but Tina actually speaks to us so we can hear her voice. And then everything that we talk about with Tina is going to be captured here as well. So we'll see this transcript area filling up as we talk with her. But I just want to show you a couple of things that we're looking at on the screen. So we have Tina in front of us laying on the bed. We have the ability to ask her questions. We can educate her. We can empathize. So we have these different options available to us. The EHR is over here on the right. So we can read through her orders, her night nurse report, her MAR, her flow sheets, her labs. The grad program, again, is going to look a little bit different. It's going to have a different interaction on that piece of documentation. But the idea is that we come into this module and all of our modules with the ability to really engage with our patients. So there's not a list of questions for me. It's up to me to think of the question I'm going to ask her. So I'm just going to show you a few questions. I'm going to say, "What brings you in today?"
The infection in my foot got so bad, it was killing me.
Okay, so she has a foot infection. I'm going to ask her, "What happened to your foot?"
I fell on the stairs at home 2 weeks ago, and I scraped up my foot then.
Okay, so she hurt her foot. Over here in my shift assessment, I can start documenting my findings. So chief complaint, foot injury, and then we'd obviously want to go into detail and ask her more questions about that. Is she in pain? Whatever it is that we need to ask to do a good health history with Tina. She can answer all kinds of questions. As a matter of fact, she can answer, I think we're right around 80,000 questions. So Tina has a very big story to tell us, so it's up to us to think of the questions to ask her and then to document our finding as we go through. In the undergrad program, there are nursing tasks available up here in the menu. Grad will be a little bit different, but I just want to make you aware of that. And then I'm just going to quickly hop out of here. Actually, wait, I'll just do one more thing before I do that. I'm going to ask.
And guys, I'm so sorry for this. We're going to try and get this set up. It's such wonderful information. So we want to make sure you're getting everything you can out of this.
Can you all hear me now? Okay, I switched microphones. I'm hoping that maybe it was just my microphone causing the freezing, but I have no idea. So if you can hear me okay and see my screen okay, I'll keep going.
Yes, sounds
Or-
great from here.
Okay, good, 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 good. And again, so sorry, I have no idea what's causing the issues, but we're just gonna plug on ahead. Um, so did everyone kind of get the sense then? Could you see enough about how I'm asking her questions and how she's answering my questions? Did that all kind of make sense? Yeah? Okay, good. Good, good, good. Okay, so what's important about the program that I really want you to know, in addition to that communication piece and how you get to ask her all of these questions, I also want to show you kind of what the assignment looks like, the list of assignments looks like, and I also want to show you what one of the physical assessment pieces looks like as well. So I'm just going to quickly show you a list of the assignments that are available within the program. And I'm just crossing my fingers that I don't get frozen up again here. This is going to be a little bit different list again if you're in the RN to BSN versus the grad program, but the basics are going to be about the same. So you have an orientation that you're going to work through, that health history where we're just going to ask the patient questions. If you're in the RN to BSN program, there's also this skills assignment. And then we're organized by body system. So you'll have an HENT assignment where you can look at her eyes and ears, respiratory, cardio, abdominal, musculoskeletal, neuro. If you're in grad, there's also psych. And then we have those 3 focused exams with the additional patients as well. So just to kind of give you a feel, and again, it'll be slightly different based on which program you're in. So I'm going to go ahead in now just quickly and show you what one of the physical assessments looks like. So if I can get my mouse to take me back there, I'm having the strangest issues with my computer, but we're going to work it out. It's okay. I'm just going to go ahead and actually then I think with Danny to show you one of the other patients, and then we'll also show you how we can listen to his lungs and things like that. Okay, so while that's loading, does anyone have any questions for me so far? And if so, feel free to type them in and I'll do my best to answer them as quickly as I can. Good so far? Okay, I'll keep an eye on that. But while we're going into Danny, I just want to show you a couple of things. So here he is. Now, because we're in a physical assessment module, we have some different options available.
Hi, nurse.
Hi, Danny. So, so we can check his vitals, and I'll show you what that looks like here. We can go ahead. Oh, there's our cuff, and then we see the readout here. So I'd be able to document that as well. So vitals are here. We can go ahead and inspect him, so I can take a look at his eyes and really zoom in there. There's his little eye. I'm going to go ahead and listen to his lungs as well. I can turn around and listen to his back. So I'm going to go ahead and listen to his lung sounds on his back. So can everyone hear that okay? Were you able to hear his breathing? There's his little cough. Poor guy. Okay. So as you can see, it's really just going to depend. The modules we are in each have, kind of a variety of tasks available. So just based on which module we're working in, there are different objectives and goals that we're going to try and get to. But I just wanted to kind of give you a little bit of a sense of how some of the other pieces work besides that communication piece. Okay. So let's go ahead and how am I doing on time? I know it's kind of taken a lot of time. So should I wrap it up or do I have a little bit more time?
No, we're good. We tell students usually to prepare for about an hour. We try to keep it under that, but I think this is wonderful information, so please continue.
Okay, awesome. Cool. I'll just show a couple more things that I just am excited to share with you. So we're going to go ahead back now to my list of assignments. And I'm going to show you what one of our concept labs look like. Okay, so I'm going to try as a student and we'll get that loaded up. So like I mentioned before, we have a cardio concept lab, a respiratory concept lab, and also an abdominal concept lab as well. And the RN to BSN program also has that conversation lab as well, but that's not included in the grad program. So I'm just going to show you a little bit about how this works. This is designed to be a practice where you can listen to the heart beating and really get this nice visual of the cross section of the heart. Okay, so there's some textbook information. For most of you, it's a review. You know all this, but it's just nice information to have. You know, you can see the valves opening and closing in the heart. On this next page, it lets me slow the heartbeat all the way down so I can really see those valves opening and closing and get a feel for, you know, exactly what that looks like in the heart. And then it takes us through areas of auscultation as well. So, you know, we can see the aortic area. We place our stethoscope right here. We get to see the sternal border. We get to see the correlating heartbeat over here. So it walks through all of the areas of auscultation. And then it also gives us some, and I'm just skipping ahead for the sake of our time, it also gives us some practice with assessment sounds as well. So you have your normal on the left, where you can listen to what the normal is, and then your abnormal over on the right. And this is a ventricular gallop. Okay. So, and there's several of them here. I'm not going to go through all of them today, but I just want you to know that this is here. It's a great practice tool. It's part of the program. So it's really, as you all can see, there's a lot to the program. There's a lot of different pieces to help you through the course. And I guess at this point, if anyone has any questions or anything else, I'm happy to answer them as best as I can. Anyone?
And we'll hang around and wait for some questions. I know some of you might not be in this course yet, so you don't know the questions to ask. If you guys are in the course already, feel free. This is probably the most expert opinions that you'll have right now, so take advantage of both Brooke and Kelly.
Well, one of the things I wanted to mention too, and you touched on it in the beginning, was that help desk. Please, please, please use the help desk. Our support group is absolutely amazing. They're super responsive. They're also in our home office in Gainesville. You can call, you can email, you can chat with them. If you have any questions once you dive in, just don't hesitate to use them. It's a resource we have. They're also available 24/7. So use the resource. Okay, let's see here. Can we recall the conversation with the patient? So tell me, I'm not sure if I know what you mean by that. If you want to clarify it a little bit. And one of the things I didn't show you was that you do get all of your feedback, and that might be what you're referring to. But I'll just talk a little bit about that real quick. So once you complete each module, it takes you to your graded assignment. Yep. Is it possible to go through an assessment and then repeat it before it is graded? It will, Brooke, you might be able to hop in here on this one. It really depends on how the course is set up. But typically we have it set up so that you can go through, you know, multiple times, but I'll let Brooke answer that one if you want to type in Brooke. I don't know if your audio is working. Let's see if I can see here. Okay, so Brooke doesn't have audio. Uh-oh. Maybe she can't hear me either. Can the rest of you hear me still?
Yes, we still have audio.
Okay, perfect. Okay, so I'll let Brooke, Brooke's typing her response to me, so I'll let her answer the question in just a minute. We're doing our best. Okay, when asking the questions to the patients, do we have to write everything down again? Oh, okay, gotcha. So everything that you ask the patient and everything the patient responded is recorded in that transcript. So you don't have to write down line by line, but part of the program is that documentation practice as well. So the EHR is there for you to take your notes and document your findings, but you certainly have access to that transcript also. Is there preceptorship in the clinical setting? Yeah, so the beginning of each module, which I kind of glossed over just for the sake of time, we have a preceptor named Diana who chimes in and gives us kind of the context of what we're working on. We also, in the RN to BSN program, have a hallway assignment where we get a preceptor check-in. So there's lots of kind of different layers of how that interaction works. And Brooke just typed a response. I don't know if all of you can see that. But she said, yeah, you can complete the assignment and receive immediate feedback on your work. From there, you can repeat the assignment by starting it over from scratch. Your instructor will let you know whether it is the first attempt that will be graded. So yes, you'll have multiple chances then to go in and practice. Thanks, Brooke. And the reason why I wanted to clarify that is because there's kind of some different ways that the instructors can set it up based on how they wanted to align it with your program. Do I have any other questions I can answer?
Hi, this is Sarah. I just wanted to jump in for our students to kind of give you a kind of context. Each of the assignments, each week in the module, you will be given a different assignment. So you will know exactly which area to go into for that week. So you know which ones that your discussion questions will be following and what your assignments will be. So they kind of all tie together. So don't worry about going in there and trying to complete everything all at once. Each week you'll be given specific assignments in Shadow Health for you to complete.
Awesome. Thank you, Sarah. Okay. And does anyone? Oh, go ahead.
So we'll hang around for a couple more minutes if you have questions. Otherwise, thank you so much for joining us. A special thanks to both Kelly and Brooke for being here, because I know this is after work hours, so we really appreciate it. But I do see another question that just came in. And yes, Barb, it is recorded.
Yeah, so can you go in just for practice outside of the module? So I want to make sure I understand your question correctly. You can absolutely, I believe that they are setting it up so that you can go in and practice as much as you want without having to turn in every attempt, I believe. Brooke's going to clarify that if that's what you meant. If you meant something different, just let me know. I don't want to, jump to conclusions. Oh, that's what you meant. Okay, awesome. Sounds good. And yeah, the session is being recorded. The other question that, oh, go ahead. I'll just wait for everyone to finish typing. Okay. All right. And like I mentioned, and I can't stress it enough, as you go forward, I'm sure you might have questions getting started. It's completely normal. Um, please use our help desk. They're just great. They're wonderful. They'll answer your questions. They'll get back to you quickly, and get you what you need. And I really hope you all just enjoy using our program. And thank you so much for letting us join in today. Was there one more question I missed?
I think we're caught up on questions. I was just scanning through, so I think we've addressed everything.
Okay, I know. I was trying to keep an eye on it and make sure I wasn't glossing over anything. It looks like we are good. Okay, awesome.
Wonderful. Well, it looks like we have answered all of the questions. Again, Kelly, this was fantastic. Brooke, thank you for manning the chat box. This is so beneficial, and we're going to love to have this recording available to our students going forward.
Awesome. Yeah, and thanks for your patience, everybody, with the technical difficulties. I'm glad we were able to get through it.